Hey everyone, hope the new year is treating you all well. One of my resolutions this year was to finally finish customizing this Monster High doll I found at a thrift shop. She's the Clawdeen Wolf Freak to Chic edition and she was about $4 Canadian. She's in generally good condition, but she is missing her tights and some of her accessories, and her hair is a little bit messed up, but it's not really that bad. But she's the perfect victim for customization. And the first thing I do, of course, is I remove all of her clothes and accessories. And at this point, I noticed that one of her arms is a little stubborn. I think it's because it's kind of an irregular shape, kind of made to look like a glove. And this is not really an issue because I only display my dolls. I don't play around with them or really pose them, so it's all good. At this point, I'm tying her entire head of hair into a ponytail, and I'm just going at it. I'm going to chop all of it off with a pair of scissors, and then I'm going to make sure to trim all of it as close to the scalp as possible so it makes it easier to remove all the makeup and remove all the plugs later on. I use 100% pure acetone to remove the factory makeup. I go in with a Q-tip first to kind of get the bulk of it out, and then I go over with a cotton round and I just remove any of the kind of smearing that you get from removing the makeup, and then I go back with a Q-tip to get any of the stuff out from the creases, and then I get a little bit of cotton on an owl, like a pointy tool, and I get into the really tiny creases, like between her lips, in her nose, that sort of thing. Then I get some really hot water, just a little bit below boiling, and I dip her head in until the vinyl has softened considerably. And then I use a towel to protect myself because this gets hot, and I pull the head gently off. You want to be really gentle at this point because you don't want to break the plug. The head is not going to stay on there really well afterwards. Now comes the most arduous part. With a pair of pliers, I pull the hair plugs one by one from the inside of the head. I dip the head into the hot water once in a while just to soften the glue up to make this process a little bit easier. For her hair, I'm using these beautiful pre-dyed alpaca locks that I purchased on Etsy, and I love the shade of purple. I think it fits her skin tone absolutely perfectly. I use my handmade rerouting tool and just going for it, one plug at a time. This takes a lot of time, so if you're into rerouting, play a good show. I was watching X-Files for like 8 hours straight just doing this part. But the final product is absolutely gorgeous. I ended up washing the hair and gluing it inside of the head so it doesn't come out. I then braided her hair to give her some more volume, and I covered it with a plastic bag to protect her hair from the sealant. I use MSC, you can use other stuff. Here's some footage of her face up. I blush her face with a lot of pink and gray soft pastels. I dust her lips pink and her nose and forehead and her eye sockets. Now you're gonna have to forgive me for that, but I didn't film the majority of the eye part. This is because it's extremely difficult for me to film and try to make them even with the current setup that I have. So I just kind of did it off camera quickly. And I did the same thing with the eyebrows. I wanted to give her these really cute, short, sort of sad eyebrows. And I also gave her some really adorable freckles. I also didn't glaze her eyes or her lips because I really liked how matte her face looked. This is her dress. It was completely sewn by my mom. The only thing I did was sew on the little pearl strands, and I wanted a really pink dress with some cream lace ruffles and pearls and make it really kind of girly and pretty. And my mom also sewed this amazing cloak for me. I wanted the doll to kind of embody a combination of like a pink Red Riding Hood and kind of a secret badass knight or like a spy or something. So I picked out a pair of chain shoes from another doll, a chest plate also from another doll, and finally a headpiece from a third doll. So all types of different dolls were involved in this. I wanted the shoes to match the headpiece, so I dry brushed them with some black acrylic paint, and I did this super quickly, super messily, and it dried very quickly as well. I then painted the chest plate completely black with some black acrylic, and I wanted it to match the shoes and the headpiece because it was purple to begin with. And after those dried, I went in with some silver enamel paint and I added some of the details to the shoes because I didn't think they were silver enough after the dry brushing. I wanted them to kind of pop more. And I did the same thing with the chest piece. Really pleased with how both came out. After the silver dried, I went ahead and sealed the shoes and the chest piece with some varnish, and now we're back to the head. I undid the braids, which took forever, but I absolutely love the hair. I separated it a little bit, I kind of zhuzhed it up, and it's super voluminous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I wish I had this much volume in my hair. Oh, that'd be great. Finally, I decided to give her some cute dangly earrings, and for that I needed to pierce her ears, which I did with my handy owl, and I shoved it through the vinyl. And after struggling to fit the headpiece on with all that hair in the way, her head is complete, and I absolutely love it. At this point, I also dry brushed the silver enamel paint on the black parts of her arms to match her accessories, and I sealed those with the varnish as well. I put the dress on the body before putting the head on there because it wouldn't be able to fit otherwise. And here I'm just putting the chest plate on. And she's finished. There she is, all done, with her head back on her body, looking absolutely stunning. And here are some final reveal shots of her kick-ass pink riding hood. I don't know. Give me some suggestions as to what I should name her. I absolutely love how she came out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Cheers!